Professor Amelia Fauzia, PhD, the Honorable Head of Doctoral Program of Islamic Banking, UIN Jakarta, Professor Dr. Ais Amania, MAN, the Honorable Director of Graduate School of UIN Jakarta, Professor Asep Saibuddin Jahar, PhD, the Honorable Board Presenter, Associate Professor Minako Sakai, and Associate Professor Felix Tan Sakai, and all the participants, welcome to the book launch and seminar with the main theme, Enablers for Muslim Women Economic Empowerment. First of all praise be to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the Lord of the world, who has been giving us guidance, happiness, health, and mercy so we can attend and participate in this event. Praise and salutation upon our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, peace be upon him, the best figure of this world. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our event, let me read the rundown for today. The first session is opening. The second session is the welcoming speech by the Vice Director of Social Trust Fund, UIN Jakarta. The third session is the welcoming speech and official opening by the Rector of UIN Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. The fourth session is the keynote speech by the Ministry of Women Empowerment and Child Protection. The fifth session is the book's presentation and discussion, which will be hosted by the moderator. And the last session is closing. All best participants, before we begin this event, let us recite Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala make this event beneficial for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, the next session is the welcoming speech by the Vice Director Social Trust Fund, UIN Jakarta. Please welcome Muhammad Zudi, MA, PhD. You may have the time.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulullah, amma ba'd. Yang saya hormati Ibu Rektor UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta, Profesor Dr. Aman Lubis yang sudah bergabung. Yang saya hormati Bapak Profesor Azumardi Azra yang juga sudah bergabung. Bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu pembicara pada seminar hari ini, juga para penulis buku yang sangat saya hormati, dan tentu saja rekan saya, Direktur Social Trust Fund UIN Syarif Jakarta, Profesor Amelia Fauzia, para peserta yang hadir pada kesempatan ini baik secara offline maupun via Zoom. Saya pertama mohon maaf tidak bisa hadir langsung. I do apologize. I'm not able to attend the seminar offline because there are some other commitment that I have to do. But on behalf of the Social Trust Fund of UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta, I extend my gratitude to our rector who already joined this meeting, and also for her continuing support to Social Trust Fund UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta. I also like to extend congratulations to the authors of the book who done a very great job in doing research and writing the research result. And today we are going to talk about the enablers for Muslim women economic empowerment. And I think this is a very important topic. It's continuously important, especially in the era where economic situation in Indonesia and the world is very difficult for everyone. So women has to play a very important role in addition to become mothers, wives, also making contribution to economic empowerment. So I think this is a very important topic, a very timely topic, and I think a lot of people will gain benefit from learning from the research result of the authors. So I would like to once again to congratulate the authors of the books, and also congratulate Social Trust Fund and UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta to hosting this event. And I hope the book will bring benefit to a lot of Indonesian women and also scholars all over the world who interested in learning about economic empowerment and how Indonesian women making contribution to the economic empowerment to Indonesian society. So I would like to ask our rector, Professor Amanul Bis, to give introductory and keynote address to, especially as herself as a woman activist and a lot of contribution to the society. I would like to invite our rector to give introductory speech and keynote address on this event. So thank you once
Randy
again.
ngelamar Glenn Kak, beneran.
Thank you once
Aslinya.
again to all the authors, all the speakers, and the participants who joined this program. And also, I would like to thank the committee, our team from STF who making this event possible, and also our partner from Faculty of Economic and Business, UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta. And I think this event is possible because of the partnership of STF and Faculty Economic and Business UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta. So thank you once again and enjoy the seminar. I hope everyone can enjoy and get more benefits from this seminar. Thank you once again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Once again, I also would like to ask our rector to officially open this seminar. Thank you.
To Mr. Muhammad Zudi, MPhil, PhD. We are now going to listen the welcoming speech and official opening, which will be delivered by the rector of UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta. Please welcome Professor Dr. Hajah Amani Burhanuddin Lubis, LC.MA. You may have the time.
Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat siang, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Very good afternoon to everyone. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. First of all, I would like to thank you all for having me in this occasion, and especially the director of Social Trust Fund, who are succeeded to conduct this important event, launch and international seminar about empowering women economy. And this is very important. I'd like to congratulate the writers and the authors of the two books. These two books are very important. And the first book is entitled Women Entrepreneurs and Business Empowerment in Muslim Countries, published by Palgrave Macmillan. This is very monumental. Congratulations for both authors, Professor Minako Sakai and Professor Amelia Fauzia. And the other book is entitled Pemberdayaan Ekonomi Perempuan Muslim berbasis teknologi digital dan nilai toleransi. For all the authors of the book, Professor Amelia Fauzia, Professor Minako Sakai, Professor Felix Tan, and other researchers, Sri Hidayati, Elvi Petrina, Haula Nur, PhD. So all of you, we are very proud of you all having these 2 books published, and now in this very good day, we launched these 2 books. And I would like also to thank the Minister of Women Empowerment and Child Protection, Her Excellency Ibu Bintang, for she's very busy, but she has also attention to our university, especially to women cause. And this time we have launched 2 books about women empowerment, women in the economic field. So this is very important. Thank you, Mrs. Minister, for your speech. And also, I would like to greet all of the speakers, very distinguished speakers. Professor Azumardi Azra, today you have a new look. This for the first time I saw you with Blankon. This is Sundanese Blankon or Javanese Blankon, I don't know. I usually saw you in patchy, in black patchy. So new look is good. And Professor Minako Sakai, thank you very much. You give us joy because you attended offline in the venue. Yes, thank you very much, and I look forward seeing you this afternoon or this after the seminar, inshallah. And Professor Amelia Fauzia, Professor Ais Amalia, Professor Felix Tan, Professor Asep Saifuddin Jahar. So thank you very much for your speech and your knowledge disseminated for us, all of us, the academia of Sharif Hidayatullah State Islamic University. So I saw also this seminar and the launch of the books are conducted in collaboration with the university, UNSW University in Australia, and also Department of History, Islamic History and Civilization in our university, and also Graduate School of Jakarta, of UAN Jakarta, and also Faculty of Economic and Business, and Ford Foundation. So with all of these efforts, may God bless you all and give you the spirit and the encouragement always to give the best of you to the communities and also to our nations, our country too. And this book, I know one of the books, and it's written in Indonesian, Pemberdayaan Ekonomi Perempuan. I think this one is based on field research done by the researchers, and this is very important. I talked about it very much in international seminars and webinars that in Indonesia, women now are proved that they are very anxious to improve the economic level of their families, so that women have a very important role, especially in energizing the UMKM, the small enterprises in Indonesian society. So that I appreciate very much the publishment of this book, and this is very important as proof that women in all fields can be empowered by their knowledge, and also by the cooperation, the collaboration that have done with all parties. Thank you very much again, and I will also, I would like to have the books, of course, and but today I will hear and enjoy the discussion about the books today during this seminar about enablers for Muslim women economic empowerment. Thank God we can be part of this enablers for Muslim women economic empowerment. I think that's all. Thank you again, and I congratulate the Social Trust Fund of our university to have very many of kinds of activities. The last one I cannot express my happiness to have the Musalla Solidarity. Alhamdulillah is established now, or is finished now to be used for the communities in Cidokom, and many other activities, important activities of Social Trust Fund conducted during recent years. So that I'd like to encourage you all to do more for the society and also for the academia. Thank you very much. And by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I inaugurate this occasion, book launch and seminar, and I open it officially. Thank you very much. All the best. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We are now going to watch the keynote speech by the Ministry of Women Empowerment and Child Protection, Ibu Sri Ayu Bintang Darmawati SAFSI. To go further, you can take over.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Tentunya salam sehat untuk kita semuanya. Yang saya hormati, saya banggakan Prof. Amani Lubis, Rektor Universitas Islam Negeri Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta, para penyelenggara dan panitia, para narasumber dan moderator, Sivitas Akademika di lingkungan UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta, serta hadirin sekalian yang berbahagia. Puji syukur kita panjatkan pada Tuhan Yang Maha Kuasa, karena atas rahmat dan karunia-Nya kita masih diberikan kesehatan dan kesempatan untuk bersama-sama mengikuti acara pada hari ini. Apresiasi setinggi-tingginya saya sampaikan kepada Social Trust Fund Win Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta atas sumbangsihnya dalam kerja-kerja pemberdayaan perempuan yang diwujudkan melalui berbagai aksi nyata, salah satunya melalui kegiatan ini. Demikian juga hasil riset bekerja sama dengan UNSW Australia yang akan diluncurkan hari ini melalui 2 buah buku. Kegiatan ini tentunya sangat penting dan sejalan dengan tujuan pemerintah Indonesia saat ini, yakni untuk pulih lebih cepat dan bangkit lebih kuat dari berbagai krisis yang masih kita hadapi. Apalagi UMKM merupakan salah satu potensi terbesar sekaligus pilar perekonomian Indonesia dalam meningkatkan laju perekonomian negara. Tentunya berbagai pengambilan keputusan pun tidak dapat dilakukan tanpa didasari data dan hasil penelitian yang akuntabel, maka kami pun sangat mengapresiasi diluncurkannya buku Pemberdayaan Ekonomi Perempuan Berbasis Teknologi dan Nilai Toleransi, serta Women Entrepreneurs and Business Empowerment in Muslim Countries pada hari ini. Hadirin sekalian, negara Indonesia terbentuk untuk memberikan kesejahteraan, kemakmuran, dan kemajuan bagi seluruh warga negaranya dengan adil dan setara. Mengakui persamaan derajat antara perempuan dan laki-laki, Indonesia menuangkan komitmen ini melalui Konstitusi Republik Indonesia, Undang-Undang Dasar Negara Republik Indonesia 1945. Dalam menjalankan pembangunan pun, hingga kini pemerintah Indonesia terus memperkuat komitmen menuju kesetaraan gender, baik melalui komitmen hukum nasional maupun internasional seperti Sustainable Development Goals yang ditargetkan akan tercapai pada tahun 2030. Kesetaraan gender, Bapak Ibu sekalian, menjadi penting karena ia tidak hanya membuka kesempatan terciptanya partisipasi yang setara antara laki-laki dan perempuan dalam berkontribusi kepada negara, melainkan juga bagian dari hak asasi manusia yang sudah sepatutnya diprioritaskan dalam setiap sektor pembangunan. Dari segi jumlahnya saja, perempuan mengisi hampir setengah dari populasi bangsa. Perempuan juga memiliki begitu banyak potensi dan kontribusi, khususnya dalam menggerakkan roda perekonomian bangsa. Berdasarkan hal tersebut, sesuai dengan arahan Bapak Presiden, Bapak Joko Widodo, salah satu isu prioritas Kementerian Pemberdayaan Perempuan dan Perlindungan Anak yang harus diselesaikan hingga 2024, sebagaimana arahan Bapak Presiden, Bapak Joko Widodo adalah pemberdayaan perempuan dalam kewirausahaan yang berperspektif gender. Mengapa pemberdayaan perempuan dalam kewirausahaan menjadi penting? Sebagaimana yang kita ketahui, mayoritas perempuan di Indonesia merupakan pengelola ekonomi rumah tangga. Dalam konteks kewirausahaan, perempuan juga menjadi ujung tombak penggerak kewirausahaan bangsa yang turut berkontribusi pada pertumbuhan ekonomi nasional kita. Hal ini terbukti dari data Kementerian Koperasi dan UKM yang menunjukkan bahwa sekitar 64% pemilik dan pengelola UMKM Indonesia adalah perempuan. Perempuan juga menguasai 3 industri besar di Indonesia, yaitu fashion, kriya, dan kuliner. Tentunya peran UMKM tidak dapat dikesampingkan karena 64 juta UMKM berkontribusi terhadap PDB nasional sebesar 60%. Bapak dan Ibu sekalian yang saya hormati, dalam melaksanakan arahan Bapak Presiden, kami Kementerian Pemberdayaan Perempuan dan Perlindungan Anak telah melakukan sejumlah upaya untuk bisa mendorong potensi para pelaku usaha khususnya perempuan yang tergabung dalam kelompok rentan, yaitu penyintas bencana dan kekerasan, perempuan prasejahtera, dan perempuan kepala keluarga, serta menyelesaikan berbagai tantangan yang masih menghambat mereka. Berbagai program dan upaya yang telah dilaksanakan oleh pemerintah, diantaranya meningkatkan kemampuan wirausaha perempuan melalui program pelatihan kewirausahaan berperspektif gender bagi perempuan rentan, serta mendorong literasi digital dari pelatihan tersebut. Kemudian pemerintah juga telah memberikan dukungan terhadap kewirausahaan perempuan melalui dibentuknya Strategi Nasional Keuangan Inklusi Perempuan untuk memastikan bahwa semua perempuan pelaku usaha di Indonesia memiliki pengetahuan, kapasitas, sumber daya, dan peluang untuk dapat mencapai dan menikmati pemberdayaan ekonomi. Berkaitan dengan tema hari ini, Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, kami Kementerian Pemberdayaan Perempuan dan Perlindungan Anak juga bermitra dengan PT PNM melalui program Mekarnya yang merupakan layanan permodalan berbasis kelompok yang diperuntukkan bagi perempuan prasejahtera, pelaku usaha ultramikro, baik yang ingin memulai usaha maupun mengembangkan usaha. Adapun program ini juga memiliki layanan yang berbasis syariah yang tidak hanya memberikan modal tanpa agunan, tetapi juga memberikan literasi finansial bagi klien-kliennya. Di masa kini, produk-produk finansial yang dapat dipilih pun semakin beragam. Walaupun demikian, perempuan juga perlu kritis dalam memilih produk finansial yang aman dan terpercaya. Dengan tugas dan fungsi kami sebagai Kementerian Koordinatif untuk menjalankan arahan ini, kami terus memperkuat sinergi, jejaring, dan membangun kolaborasi dengan berbagai pihak dan stakeholders. Tentunya salah satu kekuatan kami adalah dengan Win Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta. Adapun inisiasi dari Social Trust Fund Win Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta dalam memberikan perhatian khusus kepada para pelaku UMKM perempuan, khususnya perempuan Muslim, tentunya merupakan langkah yang sangat-sangat baik karena benar-benar tepat sasaran dan tentunya membawa manfaat yang dibutuhkan oleh para pelaku usaha UMKM di Indonesia. Oleh karena itu, saya berharap bahwa inisiasi ini dapat dikembangkan, dilanjutkan, dan tentunya diperkuat. Dengan banyaknya dukungan bagi pelaku UMKM perempuan dari berbagai pihak, diharapkan potensi pelaku UMKM perempuan dalam perekonomian Indonesia dapat terus dimaksimalkan. Para pelaku UMKM perempuan harus bisa bekerja dalam lingkungan kerja yang kondusif untuk menjaga produktivitasnya. Kondusif berarti aman, nyaman, dan bebas dari kekerasan dan perlakuan salah dalam bentuk apapun. Tentunya harapan bersama kita ini tidak dapat tercapai apabila perempuan masih berisiko menjadi korban berbagai bentuk kekerasan, salah satunya kekerasan seksual. Semangat pencegahan dan perlindungan dari kekerasan seksual ini telah dituangkan melalui Undang-Undang Tindak Pidana Kekerasan Seksual yang disahkan tahun ini. Peraturan perundangan yang bersifat lex specialis ini tentunya lebih komprehensif dalam melindungi para perempuan Indonesia, termasuk para pelaku UMKM perempuan dari berbagai bentuk kekerasan dan perlakuan salah yang bisa berimbas pada kualitas hidupnya. Oleh karenanya, Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, sembari menanti aturan turunan dari Undang-Undang Tindak Pidana Kekerasan Seksual ini, saya menitipkan pesan kepada seluruh petinggi dan jajaran Win Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta untuk bisa mensosialisasikan dan membumikan Undang-Undang Tindak Pidana Kekerasan Seksual di tiap kesempatan dari lingkup terkecil hingga nasional. Khusus untuk perguruan tinggi, saya juga berharap UIN Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta dapat melaksanakan peraturan Menristek Dikti nomor 30 tahun 2021 diantaranya dengan membuat satuan tugas pencegahan dan penanganan kekerasan seksual. Bapak Ibu yang saya banggakan, sumbangsi nyata yang diberikan oleh UIN Syarif Hidayatullah ini tentunya tidak hanya akan mempercepat bergulirnya roda perekonomian bangsa, namun juga mewujudkan perempuan Indonesia yang terlindungi, mandiri, berdaya, dan terus dapat berkontribusi dalam memulihkan perekonomian Indonesia pasca pandemi COVID-19 ini. Meskipun bukanlah pekerjaan ringan, tetapi marilah kita tetap terus berkreasi dan berinovasi untuk memperjuangkan pembangunan ekonomi perempuan Indonesia. Semoga kerja ikhlas kita mendapat ridho Tuhan Yang Maha Esa dan terus berkesinambungan serta mendapat dukungan dari masyarakat luas sehingga perempuan Indonesia dapat pulih lebih cepat, bangkit lebih kuat. Demikian yang dapat saya sampaikan. Perempuan berdaya, anak terlindungi, Indonesia maju. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We have arrived at the most awaited session of this event. The book launch and seminar, Enablers for Muslim Women Economic Empowerment. The book presentation and discussion will be hosted by the moderator, Dr. Haula Nur, MA, PhD. Haula received her PhD in 2021 from the Australian National University Coral Bell School of Asia and Pacific Affairs. She obtained her BA in psychology and MA in interdisciplinary Islamic studies, both from the State Islamic University Syarif Hidayatullah in Indonesia. Besides working with various research institutions, she has worked with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, for a project Strive Juvenile, preventing and responding to violence against children by terrorist and violent extremist groups. Her research interests include family and terrorism, family psychology, Islamic studies, and terrorism ideology. Currently, she is one of the researchers at Pusat Pengkajian UIN Jakarta and a lecturer at Universitas Islam International Indonesia (UII) in Depok. I'll give it to the moderator, Dr. Haula Nur, MA, PhD. Now they can take the lead.
Distinguished speakers, Professor Zumardi Azra, Professor Luis Amalia, and Professor Saifuddin Jahar, and the Ministry of Women Empowerment and Child Protection and other ministries who are involved in this project, and of course, all the authors of the book, including me. Name, but it's okay. Okay, so Professor Amelia Fauzia, and also welcome to Ibu Minako, Associate Professor Minako Sakai, and we're still waiting for Associate Professor Felix Tan. I think he's still on his way. And Bapak Ibu para undangan online maupun offline. also all the students of State Islamic University who are attending in this our book discussion and the seminar today. So I feel really nostalgic to be here. But it's quite a while ago, and of course to share these sessions. So today we are going to discuss two books that just launched before. So the first book entitled Women Entrepreneurs and Business Empowerment in Muslim Countries, written by Associate Professor Minako Sakai and Professor Amelia Fauzia, published by the Sheldrake Macmillan. And then the other book is Pemberdayaan Ekonomi Perempuan berbasis teknologi dan nilai toleransi, written by Professor Amelia Fauzia, Associate Professor Minako Sakai, Associate Professor Felix Tan, Ibu Sri Hidayati, Ibu Elvi Petrina, and also myself. So this book is published by the Social Trust Fund publisher of UIN Jakarta. These books are part of the project, the collaboration project between the STF, Social Trust Fund, State Islamic University in Jakarta, and also UNSW, United University of New South Wales. In Australia, and with the support from the Ford Foundation. So today we will have 3 hours of the book to discuss and present the book, and also discuss how this book can be beneficial for Muslim women entrepreneurs in Indonesia. And then at the end of the presentation, we will have Professor Zumardi Azra as a discussant to give his insights, including some constructive feedbacks and also raising issues for broader consideration. So because we start a little bit late, so I think each of the speakers will have around 15 minutes to 20 to 10 minutes. 10 minutes to 15 minutes, okay? And then we will have Q&A for another like 30 minutes probably. Okay, so without further ado, I will read the short bio of Professor Minako Sakai. So she is the Deputy Head of School and teach in Indonesian Studies and supervise research students in Southeast Asian social inquiry. She carries out so many research in socio-economic development policies, gender and Islam with focus on Indonesia and other patriarchal societies. She holds a PhD in anthropology from the Australian National University. She also has published over 50 articles and book chapters on the theme of religion, community, and local development studies. The latest publication of her book is the co-author with Professor Amelia Fauzia. That is the one that we are going to discuss today, published in 2022 by Sheldrake Macmillan. So Ibu Minako, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Selamat siang dan Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera buat semua, dan ya, terima kasih atas undangan dan semuanya pada Ibu Rektor selama ini, dan terima kasih hari ini dan Ibu Media dan teman-teman dari STF. So first of all, I'd like to talk about published in English. The actual book is supposed to be coming out next month, and the way our publisher deals with us is to go through digital editing. So we actually haven't had the see hard copy yet.
Apa mau disambung?
just want to first of all just show what I have been doing research about
Essential bisa.
limited areas digital waste.
Bukan ini sayang, ini di awan.
Wait. Iya.
Value digital. Just like to keep number 2. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm just going through some of the I have done and overall
Ini suaranya bocor. Tolongin ya. Tolongin kalau ada yang bocor suaranya.
Yeah, so I've been looking at studying and how it impacts small businesses to get it on that way. So before we got to this stage, we came to know about published book on various about being focused on now some shapes of the way where they identify themselves and what they can the area behavior and so how we started is initially it didn't be part of the book, but like she question on does this hinder or enable development and then like quality. On how this really works. Yeah, so how we studied this book is we really had a common interest in Islam, and we published 3 born, and during that time, people were not regularly wearing, hijab, jilbab at all. So this Islamization of Indonesia is a recent phenomenon, and so what we like to explore is Islamic authority as well. How then people come to interpret. It's interacting, so I didn't need it. I think, yeah. I think it's echoing. So, yeah. We also wanted to really see what women see as enablers and what women see as defeat. In the book, generic name, which is women contemporary, so that people outside can actually understand what we are doing. To show is access and not particularly sufficient. But in Indonesia, we can see other enablers, such as Islamic authority, which we allow European women to live up to the expectations to become a modern Khadija and modern Aisha, to of the most well-known prophets' wives. And that seems to be working and enabling women to use social capital to be successful as entrepreneurs. So next slide, research methodology and funding. We collected a lot of medical data and in Indonesia. And when we initially finished our draft, we received feedback from publishing to Indonesian more Muslim countries. Therefore, we spent quite some time looking at examples from other countries. So we looked at Bangladesh, we looked at Saudi Arabia, we looked at Malaysia, and situated Indonesian example as one of the most successful examples Indonesia can present to the rest of the society. And as throughout there, we received funding from the university, university, and then I think the Indonesian book, particularly funded the Ford Foundation Research Grant. But I think for our case, we received some support when we are writing up, and I think Barona and my student, Masaga, was actually helped with research assistance. And we in Jakarta, and we in Surabaya and other Muslim institutions assisted us, and I'd like to say thank you from me and Amelia. So the structure of this book really represents how we approached. So each chapter discusses theoretical discussions and our approach, and our goal is to see Islam as enablers. And then we looked at comparative study of women entrepreneurs from other countries, and we have actually provided some statistics and policy analysis, which seems to be working to enable Indonesian Muslim women to be very successful to combine raising a family as well as working as an entrepreneur. So we looked at that, and specifically chapter 3, we looked at Indonesian government policies. So Ibu just kindly endorsed, it's the important topic. We really think Indonesian government has been pushing this typical notion of economic kerakyatan through, for example, koperasi and other matters. So Dharma Wanita, PKK, all of these activities actually gave initial training to women to be sort of entrepreneur, in a digital era now. And we also questioned what actually women are feeling about being single career women. So at one stage of my life, I think I was sort of so-called single person, kind of like a gadis tua or perawan tua or that sort of word I heard, and people kind of said, sudah ada berapa anak yang belum, suaminya di mana yang belum, maaf sekali Bu. I actually went through that stage, and I knew that being a just professional career woman is not successful. But we analyzed in this book, for example, Cinta Suci Sarana, written by Pak Habib, and Pak Habib just sent a text to say thank you. And hello to Pak Asda and Ibu Amalia. And so I actually accompanied his roadshow to see how actually he thought about Islamic society and being single. And our analysis is being single is not particularly welcome. So in Indonesia, in order to be a kind of very happy well-being, we understand that it is important to be married and to have children and to be successful as an entrepreneur, rather than being academic and being single and being a professor. That seems to be kind of a lot of narratives we included. And then we also looked at role models of Muslim successful entrepreneurs. So we looked at Ibu Nurhayati Sepakat, Wardah, and Ibu Pamela, a supermarket owner of Muslim Yogyakarta, Halal Supermarket. And we also looked at chapter 6, really struggles of other people. So people who are aspiring to be female entrepreneurs, but some succeeded, some didn't. So that's a really way to identify what women saw as enablers and what women saw as leaders. And I think our conclusion, finding is women are turning to entrepreneurship surely to develop the national economy, but they have got their own agenda, which is really to combine their work and family well. And that's so this particular women turning to entrepreneurship is really women's way of accommodating their own needs and financial needs. And at the same time, they are negotiating patriarchy, particularly strong in the Muslim countries. And they try to be a contemporary Khadija and also contemporary Aisha. And these two references to these female ideal prototypes definitely enables them to pursue their career. And also women use their business profits to build a very pious Muslim society, like contributing, donating to social trust fund perhaps, and wakaf and all sorts. So they never really say, I'm growing my business because I want to be a CEO. Rather, they say, I want to grow business, contribute to the community and employ many people. And the more profit they have, they can contribute more in terms of zakat, sedekah, and also impact and all sorts. So in general, individual career aspirations really without raising family do not seem to be taken very well in predominantly Muslim dominant countries. And I think there's an impact for men as well, which is the more women are successful, and particularly women are pious, contributing and enabling men to also lead the community as a Muslim sort of leader, which really gives a brownie point for men as well. So in general, what we are seeing is Islam is used by these middle-class Muslim women as a localized strategy to negotiate patriarchy and achieve gender equality. So that really comes back to, I think, what Ibu Binta said about CEDAW and Sustainable Development Goals and gender equality. So we are achieving, I understand, in Muslim countries, particularly in Indonesia, women are achieving and trying to reach the goal using Islam. And that is, I think, most effective way because it's really accommodated in society. So that's actually the summary of this book. And we like to get some, feedback. We like to get some discussions. And this is really the beginning. And we really look forward to having another discussion, perhaps when a lot of people have read the book. And we like to have another discussion. So, terima kasih atas perhatian dan sekian. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Ibu Minako. And then now we turn to our second speaker, Professor Amelia Fauzia. So she is a professor in the Faculty of Adat dan Humaniora, ya Bu ya, State Islamic University, and also the visiting fellow at the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, United. Again, I say every time I see UN, always I say United Nations University of New South Wales, Australia. Okay, Ibu Fauzia, Ibu Amelia Fauzia, bergelar master dari Leiden University dan juga doktoral dari Melbourne University di tahun 2009. So, saat ini beliau menjabat sebagai Direktur Sosial Trust Fund UIN Jakarta. Among her topics of research and are in Islamic philanthropy, woman, religious radicalization, Messianic movement, Japanese history, etc. And apart from her latest publication with Professor Sakai, she is also the author of Filantropi Berkeadilan, Berkeadilan Sosial untuk Milenial tahun 2020. STF UIN Jakarta ST Publisher. Dipersilahkan Ibu Amelia Fauzia. Thank you so much, Mbak Lola. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
It's really an honor to me to be here with Professor Azumardi Azra, my sensei. In millennial terms, she's my best for research. Lola and I think also other scholars there, Professor Amani Lubis, yeah, and Associate Professor Harris, and also I think in this opportunity, first, thanks so much, Bu Minako, for summarizing the book. Now I'm going to give like a small introduction about the second book, Pemberdayaan Ekonomi Perempuan berbasis teknologi digital dan nilai toleransi. I think since we all are Indonesians here, so I'll speak in Indonesian language. I think for the sake for some students and students better to understand what is the book about. Pertama, saya akan bicara singkat saja karena di sini ada Prof. Azumardi yang juga memberi pengantar di buku ini dan memberi masukan di buku. Dan kami senang sekali tanpa dukungan dari Prof. Azumardi riset dan publikasi saya kira mudah yang awal. Pertama, bicara tentang konteks kenapa sih kita menerbitkan buku. Apa sih bedanya buku ini dengan buku-buku yang pemberdayaan ekonomi perempuan juga banyak. Sebenarnya ada dua kata kunci yang ada di set ini dan di buku ini yang saya kira dengan mudah teman-teman terutama yang di sini postgraduate students bisa langsung melihat bahwa ada distingsi penggunaan teknologi digital, bukan hanya teknologi digital dan nilai toleransi. Nah, itu distingsi yang ini saya kira karena konteksnya UIN, kekuatan di UIN adalah nilai-nilai Islam yang rahmatan lil alamin. Nah, itu sesuatu yang beda dengan buku-buku lain yang diterbitkan tentang pemberdayaan. Kami punya berpikir bahwa memang ada asumsi kalau perempuan itu dianggap kurang berdaya, tapi memiliki potensi yang besar dalam kesejahteraan masyarakat. Saya kira itu sudah banyak disampaikan oleh banyak peneliti dan termasuk oleh Ibu Menteri tadi. Dan upaya pemberdayaan ekonomi perempuan itu sudah banyak sekali dilakukan oleh baik itu pemerintah, NGO, perguruan tinggi dan seterusnya, tapi ternyata masih ada ruang-ruang yang perlu diperbaiki. Selamat datang Felix. Dan ada asumsi juga bahwa faktor budaya, terutama agama, itu menjadi kendala, untuk upaya-upaya pengembangan ekonomi. Tapi kemudian kita melihat bahwa ada potensi katakanlah budaya atau agama dalam hal ini konservatisme itu menjadi kendala, tapi juga ternyata itu juga bisa menjadi potensi untuk pengembangan ekonomi. Misalnya ada industri halal. Dan yang terakhir kita melihat bahwa pesatnya teknologi digital itu katakanlah menjadi satu kontribusi penting untuk meningkatkan UMKM itu di tempat lain dan bisakah di Indonesia? Nah, yang buku yang saya harap nanti para teman-teman bisa membaca, membeli juga ya, membeli dan membaca. Karena dengan membeli ini dananya nanti untuk pemberdayaan ekonomi perempuan, dananya kembali ke STF. Buku ini meyakini bahwa kemampuan teknologi dan bisnis itu bisa menumbuhkan potensi lain dari perempuan. Jadi kita melihat ada hidden potensi dari perempuan, bahwa perempuan adalah sebagai agen toleransi dan ini yang mungkin tidak banyak peneliti lain yang melihatnya. Dan tentu saja perempuan perlu didukung melalui pendidikan, peningkatan kepercayaan diri, perspektif positif, dan kemampuan berbisnis serta modal sosial. Kira-kira buku ini kami ingin menjawab 3 pertanyaan saya kira tentang sebenarnya bagaimana sih potensi toleransi di kalangan perempuan pelaku UMKM dapat dikembangkan. Jadi kita percaya potensi toleransi itu ada, tapi bagaimana dimanfaatkan. Terus yang kedua, bagaimana negosiasi untuk menyeimbangkan kewajiban rumah tangga dan bisnis. Karena rata-rata tantangannya adalah dianggapnya kalau perempuan dan berumah tangga itu tidak bisa berbisnis. Dan kita mematahkan mitos-mitos itu. Dari riset ini mematahkan mitos. Dan yang terakhir adalah bagaimana sih dampak kemampuan kita terhadap usaha dan dampak sosial lainnya dari dampak kemampuan digital terhadap usaha perempuan. Nah, riset ini di Jawa Barat, Sulawesi Selatan, dan NTB dan jadi wawancara observasi, ada piloting project, ada pendampingan dari 2018 ke 2020. Ini sekedar clue tentang isi dari buku ini apa sih kalau teman-teman ingin kepo ya, yang tahu. Sorry for the beginning. So first chapter is about the introduction, talks about what is the book about. Second chapter judulnya adalah menakar potensi toleransi. Jadi kita melihat potensi toleransi dalam pemberdayaan perempuan di Indonesia itu apa saja. Ini lebih kepada konsep-konsep yang kita gunakan. Kemudian bab 3 tentang kewirausahaan perempuan di pedesaan, tentang profilnya seperti apa, berapa banyak perempuan yang melakukan usahanya seperti apa, dan seterusnya. Kemudian bab 4 tentang ini adalah hasil dari piloting project tentang how women try to do business using the digital technology. What are the strategies and system? Dan bab 5 tentang hasil-hasil temuan kami tentang bagaimana perempuan berwirausaha dan potensinya. Ini yang bahasa kami ada potensi terpendam, hidden potensi bagi perempuan sebagai pelaku wirausaha yang tidak saja potensinya bukan hanya dari sisi ekonomi ya, kesejahteraan terlihat, tapi juga dari sisi lain. Dan yang terakhir okay. Maybe later on Felix will talk more about the digital technologies and women, something like that.
Sure, yeah.
So I wouldn't talk about that, but di buku ini kita melihat ada modal sosial. Social capital, yang antaranya adalah networks, norma, kepercayaan, yang itu menjadi potensi toleransi bagi perempuan. Yang kedua adalah ada etika Islam yang kuat seperti amal soleh, amanah, adil, ihsan, dan itu juga berpengaruh terhadap peningkatan ekonomi di perempuan pedesaan. Dan menariknya bahwa etika Islam itu mendorong perempuan untuk meyakini pentingnya mereka melakukan usaha. Ada poin yang kita menggali sebenarnya. Kalau ditanya ini kewirausahaan perempuan yang mana yang kita lihat, ini yang di wilayah pedesaan. Apa sih potret wirausaha perempuan di pedesaan? Nah, ternyata temuan kita adalah kira-kira jenis pekerjaan perempuan selama ini wirausahanya itu lebih dekat kepada yang feminized job. Jadi pekerjaan-pekerjaan yang memang dekat dengan keseharian perempuan, kira-kira seperti itu. Seperti usaha makanan yang sangat dekat dengan perempuan, dan pilihan jenis pekerjaan perempuan sama ini dianggap sebagai embedded ekonomi. Saya kira tadi Bu Menko sudah bicara tentang itu ya. Kemudian, nah ini kira-kira profil wirausaha perempuan di pedesaan. Seperti apa sih profilnya? Rata-rata usia perempuan di pedesaan yang berwirausaha itu 30 sampai 50 tahun. Pendidikannya paling banyak SMA. Tapi yang paling penting adalah rata-rata yang usaha itu yang sudah ibu-ibu, yang sudah berkeluarga. Kan kita biasanya nanti kalau udah keluarga, udahlah gitu kan, dapur aja. Ternyata itu salah. Ternyata yang paling banyak melakukan wirausaha perempuan itu adalah mereka yang sudah saya kira kalau standar ya omsetnya kecil, oke. Tipologi industrinya lebih banyak makanan. Dan yang menariknya adalah usaha-usaha perempuan itu mereka berusaha mencoba melegalkan usahanya. Itu satu upaya yang penting. Nah, kalau dilihat dari motivasi sebenarnya, kenapa sih para perempuan ini mau berwirausaha? Intinya adalah ingin membantu ekonomi keluarga, membantu orang lain kayak tadi yang tentang bersedekah. Jadi banyak yang sebenarnya berusaha bikin wirausaha, nanti hasilnya itu buat sumbangkan untuk bikin sekolah, membiayai membantu orang lain. Nah, jadi itu saya kira satu keunikan di wirausaha perempuan. Dan jaringannya adalah jaringan keluarga. Kemudian temuan kami adalah, saya kira banyak juga ditemukan oleh bukti lain, bahwa perempuan pelaku usaha ini memiliki kendala dalam menggunakan teknologi, apalagi di pedesaan. Tapi mereka bisa sebenarnya dengan dilatih, dan cara pelatihannya itu yang unik. Jadi kami membuat strategi pemberdayaan melalui training dan pendampingan digital. Jadi benar-benar ibu-ibu ini di coaching oleh para mahasiswa siapapun. Tapi yang kami lihat adalah kalau di pelatihan biasa itu kayak ngomong seperti ini tidak cocok untuk ibu-ibu. Jadi cocoknya itu memang didampingi di rumah setiap hari. Itu kira-kira pelatihan yang lebih pas buat ibu-ibu. Nah, saya ingin stress ini karena tadi ada dari Kementerian Pemberdayaan Perempuan, bahwa ternyata banyak sekali pihak-pihak yang membantu.
Ternyata banyak sekali pihak-pihak yang membantu pemberdayaan ekonomi perempuan ini. Dan ibu-ibu itu cerita bahwa yang paling banyak itu pertama adalah 56% itu dari dinas. Jadi pemerintah itu sebenarnya sudah cukup banyak membantu pemberdayaan ekonomi perempuan, tapi tentu saja masih ada yang tadi kami dapati ada wilayah-wilayah yang mungkin
trainingnya itu belum terlalu maksimal dan seterusnya. Jadi ada bantuan dari mahasiswa juga, perguruan tinggi, dari keluarga, dari teman, media dan seterusnya. Ada banyak cerita-cerita selama bagaimana ibu-ibu ini menghadapi pandemi, tapi saya tidak akan bicara itu. Saya juga ingin dengar Pak Sumadi bicara ya. Poinnya ada tentang temuan saja. Ini temuan yang saya kira penting, yang message dari buku ini, bahwa toleransi tumbuh di kalangan perempuan pelaku UMKM di pedesaan. Jadi toleransi tumbuh kuat, agama dan budaya tidak menjadi penghalang bagi mereka untuk melakukan kegiatan ekonomi di pedesaan. Bahkan jadi faktor pendorong bagi mereka untuk terus berkembang melalui pengembangan digital dan melalui e-commerce, baik itu sosial media maupun yang seperti Tokopedia juga. Pelaku usaha ini menjadi terbuka wawasannya dan kesadarannya. Jadi teknologi digital itu tidak hanya membantu secara teknis untuk mereka bisa jualan, tapi juga bisa membukakan wawasan ibu-ibu ini tentang perdagangan. Itu poin penting dari buku ini, saya kira. Selebihnya adalah rekomendasi yang nanti bisa dibaca di buku. Nanti that's all, Mbak Lola, dari saya. Mungkin sedikit saja Felix bahkan tentang buku.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Amelia Fauzia. So I think now we took our third speaker. So we apologize for the misinformation that you received.
maybe 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
We make it 10.
It's okay. 10, yeah. Right. Sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so okay, so I will introduce you to Associate Professor Felix Tan. So thank you and welcome to State Islamic University. Dr. Felix Tan is a researcher and senior lecturer of information systems at the University of New South Wales Business Schools in Sydney campus. So UNSW basically has located in two locations. The first one in Sydney, and then the other one in Canberra. His research interests include digital platforms, information systems for good, sport, digitalization, e-commerce, and enterprise systems. He also actively examines these interests in the context of digital transformation for business and social changes. His research work has been published in various academic and practitioners journals such as Information Systems Journal, Information and Management, and other journals in reputable academia. So without further ado, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the very kind introduction, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. So, as the speaker just said, my name is Felix Tan, Associate Professor of Information Systems at UNSW Business School in Sydney, Australia. But obviously, over the last few years, I've had the tremendous opportunity to work with Amelia and Minako on project of technology for women empowerment and tolerance. So I'm really delighted to be here to share with you some of my views from field of information systems and how we look at the use of technology for emancipation, for empowerment, for widespread participation, as most of you would have experienced. And Indonesia has been very kind to us to have the opportunity to come here and study how digital technologies have been really taken off and is really driving the next wave of digital transformation. So I'm here to sort of reinforce what Amelia and Minako will probably have mentioned to you today. And I must apologize for the delay in getting here, simply because, interestingly, the airport was trialing a new digital declaration system. So there was a little bit of pain point at the airport. They told me, the customs officer told me that today is the first day that they're trialing the digital customs declaration form, which is great. But with every new technology implementation, there's always a little bit of getting used to, pain points, delays, and that was what I experienced. But that also proves to show that we are progressing. As a nation, as a region, we're all progressing, which is great, right? So I don't know whether the slides are already up.
Which one?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. But, so this is why it's really important to have a digital literacy, I think. Yeah, I think we need to.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
No, that's fine. So again, I've put this together on relatively short notice. I've been doing this presentation across ASEAN since the borders opened. So what you will see is not just I think reflective of what's happening in Indonesia, but also what is happening in Singapore, what's happening in Vietnam, which I just arrived from, and a few other nations in the area. So again, I come from the field of information systems. So if you're not familiar with the field, it's the conversion of raw data into usable information. So all the technologies that are involved with conversion of raw data to usable information is the work of myself and that of my colleagues globally as well. So I'm lucky to have the opportunity to work with many different partners like Amelia and Minako from different fields, different disciplines, because technology touches almost every industry, every sector, every discipline. So we have had the opportunity to work together on anything that's impacted by the use of technology and systems. As I said, we are running many things across ASEAN at the moment, just because UNSW has a very strong tradition of engaging with Asia, Indonesia being its closest trading partner, Vietnam, Singapore also very close trading partners. So therefore, we are doing a whole series of events since the borders opened to re-engage with Asia in person. So, delighted that we are able to be part of. So as the speaker mentioned, my interest is really around developing case studies of digital transformation driven by digital platforms and the impact of those things on business and society. So a lot of the recent work is around exploring the positive impacts, but also the dark side of using technology. So with every piece of technology, there's always a good side and there's always a bad side as well. So in equal measure. So therefore, it's very important that we capture both sides of things. So to do that, we generate, just like the book that we have, we generate knowledge artifacts as a result of the work that we do. So we share that together with community, we share that with authorities, with the government, with UN, in various different channels and various different venues. We try to teach executives who are running businesses using the material that we create so that they're aware of the changes of the landscape and they're aware of the changes of the product service system that they create and the community that they serve using their products and services. Again, we are collaborating researchers and scientists from all over Asia. So let's jump very quickly into what have we learned. And just now Minako was saying, I'm going to talk a little bit about the technology aspect. So I'm going to talk specifically about the 3 key trends that's driven by technology in Indonesia and also reflected in some of the work that we've seen. But before that, we want to qualify what actually is digital transformation. So to us, in the field of information systems, digital transformation in Asia, in ASEAN, it's a process of change. It's a change of people, it's a change of process, it's a change of technology platform. And that changes will bring about new business models and new culture, new norms, societal norms, and obviously new structures. So it's a change in the value proposition of people and organizations. So that's digital transformation. What has happened in the last 2 to 3 years? Well, the pandemic just accelerated that understanding and that process, right? So if you were not convinced that you needed a mobile phone before the pandemic, you absolutely need a mobile phone during the pandemic, right? If you weren't convinced that you need food delivery before the pandemic, during the pandemic, I'm almost certain that you're convinced that you need food delivery. If you weren't convinced of Grab and Gojek before the pandemic, I'm sure during the pandemic, you're convinced that these platforms are very important. Okay, so digital transformation just accelerated the growth of, again, the adoption of digital technology. The pandemic accelerated that, right? So everyone used social media as a means of escapism. So where there was a lot of stress and there was a lot of pressure put on by the pandemic on its people because of shutdowns, because of what a lot of people turn to social media. So social media is just an example of kinds of platforms that allow people to escape reality a little bit. But escaping reality is just one thing. It creates more issues, right? So some of the positive things that happened, cashless, right? So if you weren't convinced, if you weren't taken proof that a cashless is the way to go, that happened during the pandemic. Everybody went cashless. Everybody wanted to have a wallet, a digital wallet, let's say. But that also created, unfortunately, a little bit of digital divide. So there were a lot of people that were not on the journey. A lot of people that were still unbanked. Even before the pandemic, when we were studying this, a lot of the women that we spoke to were not participating in the financial ecosystem, at least institutionally, right? So they were banking with microfinancing institutions that had technologies that were not really mature yet. But that has changed over time, right? So what we also realized is that technology companies that came into Indonesia were not appreciating the culture and societal norms of our country. Right? So they were not familiar with what is arisan, they were not familiar with the work of the tekulas, they were not familiar with all of the intermediary mechanisms. So what we had to inform the tech companies and what we have to learn from the tech platforms is that they need to really be situationally aware of the community. So what are the 3 things? I mentioned I was going to talk about 3 things. One is the rise of e-commerce marketplaces. So I heard Amelia obviously talk about Bukalapak, Tokopedia just now, and the impact that they had on the community, especially during the pandemic, when their services were available online, you could order food online when you were stuck in. That was really, really important. We studied that many, many years ago. And what these platforms and e-com marketplaces and its growth actually does is that it reduces the search cost of you as customers, of us as customers, and it reduces the search cost of the suppliers as well that are looking to reach out to you during the pandemic, for example. So you're able to do that using the e-commerce platform very easily. On the other hand, it creates network effects. So when you buy one thing from Bukalapak, Tokopedia, or Shopee, or Lazada, you're not just buying one thing. You're buying several things that's related to the one thing. So these are, again, the complementary goods and services that are as a result of the network effect. The second thing is the sharing of resources that happened a lot during the pandemic. So the likes of Grab, Gojek, and Hustle, all of these platforms grow tremendously simply because there was a lot of focus around getting people to have temporary ownership of resources without having the burden of actually owning. Because businesses are closing down, a lot of small and medium enterprises during that time is closing down, so therefore a lot of businesses have to share resources via digital means. So that was why you see a lot of growth during this period of time for tech companies. Because what they effectively try to do, Grab and Gojek try to do, is to reduce the idling capacity of resources across ASEAN, which is tremendous. The third thing that happened was, and I know that Indonesia is a very big consumer of K-pop and K-drama. Yes, of course. Everyone, yeah. So again, I was at a few universities before, like UNUS and what, and most of the students went crazy with talking about K-pop. So we also studied a lot during the pandemic about what happened in the K-pop ecosystem. So there was a search for creative content industry. So a lot of the super groups that was formed and developed really put the user or the consumer's power in front of its product. So a lot of the groups are actually formed by you, not by the agencies, because you guys know the South Koreans like the JYP or the SM Entertainment or the Ata TV. You go then you want this ending, you want this group, and then they will go and source and put these groups together. So that continues to grow. So what it means is that you really have power. Users have the power. So this continues to grow during the pandemic, where you have the power to change the outcomes of the content that's provided by these entertainment companies, which is great. So I'm going to finish off very soon. So what can we all do together? As you can see from the brief sharing, there's a lot that we can learn if we work together, right? There's a lot that we can learn from one another. There's a lot of things that we can put into practice. As Amelia and Nako probably said, we shared some of our learnings and some of our teachings through the book, through the community, to the women that were also using technology to grow their business or sell their produce on the ground. And we can do more of that by working with the local governments in a very participative approach. So that when we grow digital literacy and data literacy en masse, then all of us can benefit from this ecosystem. Okay. So again, but we also have to pay respects to the traditional and religious rules and the societal norms of our country, right? When we are trying to implement some of these models, because some of these models are from the West, of course. There are good things that we can learn, but there's also some things that are not appropriate. So that we have to work with the local partners to do that. So again, we published quite a few from the work here in journals, now in book, and also in conferences. So please feel free to reach out to any one of us to learn a little bit more about what we have done and what we're going to do next. And what we did was, as I said, about collaboration. We really worked with a lot of people during the last few years. Traditional lenders, central bank, microfinancing institutions, villagers, farmers, other universities, social entrepreneurs. So we work with a lot of you to get the message out. So I urge you to get involved with us. We are again focusing a lot of work here and in ASEAN now that the pandemic is open. Please feel free to reach out to any one of us. We'd love to hear from you. For the students in the room, if you are in this space, it's a very exciting space. I'm speaking from a technologist perspective. If you're aware of what's going on in the region, there's crypto winter at the moment. There is fear in investment for startups. So people are looking for mature startups. So these are some of the trends that's happening. But what is true is that tech companies and many SMEs that are integrating with new tech product companies, they need skilled workers very, very soon. So in the next 2 years, you'll see a lot of mass hiring of people that are strong in this set of skills. Computer science skills, machine learning skills, awareness of social science skills, so on and so forth, right? So there's a lot of that skill base that needs covering and funding. So I think that's 10 minutes. With that, thank you very much for your time. I hope I didn't bore you. Over to thank you very much.
Thank you for the presentation. So yeah, I think now in the academia now we have digital Islam. So I think this is also really good, like a collaboration between how to do research on Islam digitally. So that's why this is part of the game of the world, I think. Okay, so now we turn to our discussion, Professor Zumadi Azra. So Professor Zumadi Azra is a professor in history at the State Islamic University in Jakarta and one of the prominent Muslim intellectuals in Southeast Asia. He was a rector of Uin Syarif Hidayatullah Jakarta in 1998 to 2006. He finished his undergrad at the Faculty of Tarbiyah or Education at the IAIN Jakarta at the time, and graduated for his MA and also MPhil and also doctoral degree from Columbia University. Professor Azra also visiting fellows in some prominent universities in the world, and he already published over 18 books from the reputable publishers. Dipersilahkan kepada Profesor Azra.
Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Waalaikumsalam. Distinguished speakers, Pak Lola, organizer, students. I'm always delighted of women and gender. Actually, I'm now one of the prominent defender of human rights. When I was rector, I introduced what I call as gender sensitive curriculum, meaning certain subject, particularly tafsir, and tafsir is Quranic exegesis, and fiqh is Islamic jurisprudence. Should be approached from gender perspective. You all know that the interpretation of the Quran and also formulation of the fiqh have been male dominated, produced by male Muslim ulama, Muslim scholars in the Middle East. That's why fiqh and also tafsir are very male biased, and also because of the I think the culture in the Middle East, biblical, I call it biblical culture, or we call it in Islamic term as Israeliyat. For instance, in the Middle East, of course, it is widely believed that women are created from the one of the bone of the male, dari tulang rusuk laki-laki. And women were considered up until now as a serpent, ular berbisa, that seduce men to selalu menggoda laki-laki to seduce male or men to illegal, to melakukan kejahatan kejahatan. As we can also look at the case of Freddy Sambo just now in Indonesia. So that's why we need a new interpretation of why, because Indonesian Muslims are very influenced by Middle Eastern or Arab concept of tafsir. We do not study much about tafsir produced by our own ulama. For instance, one of the fifth written by a very prominent ulama in the 17th century, Sheikh Abdurrahman Sinkel, when he talked about the requirements for rulers in Muslim society, we didn't mention that the ruler of Muslim society should be a male. Why? Because in Aceh we had 4 successive queens ruling Aceh Sultan. And then Abdurrahman Sinkel justified the ruling of the ruler. So this is a very different kind of big interpretation of Islamic jurisprudence. That's also the case with the Quranic interpretation. That's why we need gender sensitive curriculum here, because UIN has long been known as a center of Islamic modernism, Islamic progressivism, something like that, as once stated by the late Merritt, professor of Amelia Fauziah, was student of the late Merritt. Now I am as the chair of Press Council of Indonesia, introduce what I call as gender sensitive journalism. What I mean by gender sensitive journalism, we still use the term bias, terms that contain certain male bias. For instance, you call wartawan. Wartawan is a term for male. We rarely use the term wartawati. We also even call wartawati as wartawan. This is the gender bias gender term. That's why I prefer to use journalist or pewata. Pewata is neutral, gender neutral, rather than wartawan or wartawan. So we need to do this. So I think for many years, for many decades, or even for centuries, most of us, including also in Indonesia, believe that view the human position in the Arab view from the window of the Arab. That's why we tend to view that Muslim women are very backward. They do not have their own freedom. They have been should be domesticated in the house, in their home. They should not be involved in economics or in marketplaces, something like that. I think this is true in the case of Middle East, in the Arab countries. That is true in the case of Pakistan, or not to say Afghanistan. This is true. Women are contained to their house. They should not be allowed to go outside of the house. In fact, the fiqh said that women should do their prayer in the house, while Muslim males should pray in the mosque. Why? Because if Muslim women go to the mosque, and then that would create what Islamic term, what fikih term as a fitnah, bisa mendatangkan fitnah. Kalau ibu-ibu, kalau wanita, apalagi perempuan muda pergi ke masjid, it can create fitnah. she can seduce, she could be seduction for a male, for Muslim male. Even women voice, bahkan suara perempuan dianggap itu bisa menseduce, bisa menggoda laki-laki. That's why in Arab countries women Quranic reciter, Quranic reciter, women Quranic reciter are not allowed to recite Quran in public, in mixed audience. Jadi kayak di sini ini kita mix audiensnya, nggak boleh perempuan baca Quran. Why? Because the voice of women is aurat. Apa itu aurat? Aurat itu segala sesuatu yang bisa membangkitkan hawa nafsu. Jadi suara perempuan saja di dunia Arab dan di Asia Selatan dapat membangkitkan hawa nafsu. Bayangkan saya bilang otaknya jorok, ya. Otaknya jorok, ngeres kata orang Betawi. Lalu berpikirnya kotor. Ya. Perempuan baca Quran yang dia bayangkan yang lain-lain, bukannya merenungkan isi Al-Quran. So that's it. But in Indonesia, it is common to women recite Quran in mixed audience. No problem, like this. In Azhar, it is even now in Azhar University, there should be no co-ed class, co-education system where male and female students are in the same room like this. Tidak diizinkan, nggak boleh. You have in Azhar a special faculty for female faculty. Apa itu namanya? Kuliatul Banat. That's it, Kuliatul Banat. If you want to study fiqh, for instance, you should not go to. I mean the female students should not go or should not enter Faculty of Sharia and Kanun, Syariah wal Kanun in Azhar. She should go to Kuliatul Banat instead. Kuliatul Banat is Faculty of Women. That's also the case. She want also to study, let's say, theology, Usuluddin, for instance. She should go into Department of Theology in the Kuliatul Banat. So that's it. So we should stop viewing Muslim women from Middle Eastern, from Arab point of view. This is very important. You should view Muslim women from, let's say, Indonesian experience, Indonesian realities, which is of course which are very different. In Indonesia, women have been involved in many aspects of social life and economic life. If you go to the market from the time immemorial, zaman Bahela, time immemorial, masa Bahela itu perempuan sudah dagang dia. Di mana saja, everywhere, in any market, in the article. If you go to the pasar atas dan pasar bawah, in Bukit Tinggi, for instance, I think 80 or 90% of traders in this market are women. Ibu-ibu itu ama-ama, atau kalau di Bukit Tinggi dipanggilnya amai. Amai is sama dengan is equal to emak-emak. If you go to, let's say, a certain market here, let's say Majestic market or Ciputat market, I think most of them are women. The traders are women. And the biggest, this is very important, the biggest produksi kosmetik produk produser di Indonesia are women. Marka Tilaar, kemudian Wardah, of course, are now the largest. In fact, Wardah contributed some 40 billion rupiah to the COVID, for the mitigation of COVID. I think in 2020. Sari Ayu satu lagi. So now in Indonesia, import cosmetics overseas are not really used by many women. The cosmetic has been dominated or predominated by Wada, Masati Lahar, and also Sari Ayu. Forget the name of Ibu-Ibu. So I think women are very involved in economic enterprises, of course, small scale. UMKM, we call it micro and micro dan UMKM. But I think as Ibu Menteri mentioned that I think 90% of total 64 billion micro and small medium enterprises are run by women. Of course, in particularly for Muslim women in Indonesia, they are involved in economic activities that produce money. They become breadwinners of the family. But in certain other ethnic groups, women actually are doing something not really good for women. For instance, in Batak area, pekerjaan kasar, menial jobs are done by women. That's also the case in Bali. In Bali, women do the what as menial job. Blue collar job, like memperbaiki jalan, mengaspal jalan, itu kan. While the men actually playing guitar, playing catur, chess, rather than making money for the. That's the case in certain areas in Indonesia, but not among women. Muslim women are not used to, are not diarahkan untuk pekerjaan yang terlalu kasar. So I think they keep the dignity of women by doing this respective work as traders, small scale traders in the market, and also in agriculture. Women are very involved in agriculture, and also in producing handicraft. Very important. So I think we should disseminate this Indonesian experience, Indonesian Muslim female as a breadwinner of the family, and though with some probably unintended consequences. Because you look at the religious code, most of the wives actually sue the husband. Around, I think, between 70% of divorce filed by the wife. Jadi sekitar 70% gugatan kawin cerai itu adalah perempuan menceraikan suaminya. Nah ini saya kira bagus. Jadi suami menyatakan bertanggung jawab itu diceraikan aja, digugat, walaupun angkanya itu sampai tinggi. Boleh kita dipilih atau di Kementerian Agama. Because I was resource person in this to explain this phenomenon. Why so many Muslim women file divorce in the court, religious court. So this is very interesting. Jadi saya kira semakin sadar dengan hak-haknya, sehingga kemudian bisa melakukan gugatan kepada, dan oleh karena itu we welcome, congratulate Ibu Minako Sakai dan Profesor dan Amelia Fauzia dan Pak Felix dan memproduksi buku ini. Saya kira buku ini sangat penting, terus ini memberikan perspektif baru Islam youth from Indonesia, not youth from Middle East or youth from Afghanistan or from Pakistan. So this is good. Not many books like this produced like this. No, I don't think so. We are very thankful for the publication of this book. More studies can be done, and then produce book that can be disseminated across countries across the world. Thank you very much. Terima kasih, Mbak Lola. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih, Prof. Azra. Okay, so I think we have really tight schedule. As Ibu Minako will meet with Ibu Rector at 4 o'clock. So I will give the opportunity for those who wants to ask the questions. So we'll open for 30 minutes for Q&A. And then I just got the info from the organizer that for the first 5 people who ask the questions will have the books. Ibu Sri, 5 buku ya. But the book is not the English one, but in the pemberdayaan perempuan yang bahasa Indonesia. Jadi siapa kira-kira yang mau bertanya duluan? Do you have any question? And also for those who are online, you can ask the question and then type in the chat box, and then I will read that for you. Masnya mau bertanya? Masnya tadi mau bertanya? Mas berkacamata? Mau bertanya? Oh, iya.
Thank you very much. My question is to Professor Khalistan. Before that, I introduce myself. My name is Ibnu Zakir. I'm from the Faculty of Economic and Business, Department of Islamic Economics. Actually, my question is not related to the topic, but to the digital transformation. My question is, can all of humanity world replaced by technology and machine? Can all of human replaced by technology and machine? Because it's my question. Thank you.
I think we will collect the questions. Do we have the question from online, Mbak? Ada yang dari online nggak pertanyaannya? Nggak ada. Oke. Masnya ini dulu.
Thank you very much. My name is Putra. I want to ask Felix about how do you think about the rising of digital slavery within the utilizations of ICT, especially in Asian Pacific. Thanks.
Do you catch the question? No. Okay.
How do you think about the phenomenon of digital slavery? Within the utilizations of ICT in Asian Pacific.
Because user is the god for digital technology. Silakan Pak.
Thank you. My name Pune from Banten. My first question is to Prof. Azra. Sebagai asli Indonesia, Pak Azra, mengapa pandangan ulama dan interpretasi Islam di Indonesia itu sangat friendly dan support terhadap peran-peran perempuan? Tadi dalam penyampaian ada disebut approach single, bahkan tidak mempersyaratkan misalnya laki-laki, termasuk juga sampai sekarang saya kira. Mengapa begitu distinktif perbedaan ini dibandingkan dengan tadi yang diuraikan misalnya dari kawasan Islam, ya termasuk mungkin kawasan Islam di mana Islam berasal. And that's the question for Azra. And my second question, to the author of the book. Ada tidak Prof. Minak atau Bu Amel di dalam riset itu pertanyaan terhadap bapak-bapak yang istrinya berbisnis gitu. Ada nggak pandang digali gitu pandangan dari partner mereka itu terhadap bisnisnya? Karena meskipun mungkin hanya split ya jumlahnya sedikit, tapi masih ada pandangan-pandangan minor terhadap perempuan di tengah masyarakat. Terima kasih.
Pertanyaan ke bapak-bapak mengenai istrinya yang punya usaha. Two more questions, or I think three is okay. This would be the last one.
Okay, that's apologies why I started a bit. I have a question for Professor Azra. You mentioned that Muslim women can be put in the workforce, right? So I'm coming from a conservative point of view that in Islam it is the fitrah that women should be stay-at-home mothers that should nurture children. Does this conflict with the idea that women should be put in the workforce? Maybe that's it from me. Thank you.
Okay, I think for questions, so Felix, do you want to start?
Sure. Thank you very much for the questions for the audience. I'll start with the question on would machines replace humans? I think that's the question that was posed. Obviously, the most diplomatic answer here is that from your point of view, there's always the fear that I think if you start to watching movies and things like that, right? There are many instances where machines taking over, replacing humans will have very bad outcomes. And there are also obviously a lot of movies and shows that demonstrate the opposite, right? Where machines replacing humans in certain business processes, it does actually help human in enabling a better life or enabling efficiency and performance. So really depends. So what it tells us is really depends on your use case. So what is happening at the moment is that there's a lot of very advanced new emerging technologies that are out there. People are investing, and companies are investing without good use cases. Okay. An example would be when the tokenized economy or the notion of tokenized economy, that means having immutable assets, crypto, it all sounds nice. But then it went down towards that whole investment mode, right? But there are actually many good use cases of blockchain technology, but they're just not there. But just like how social media came about, it was never about selling things. It was never for commercial or profit. It was more for communication. Right? The unintended consequences just happened later on. So the use cases will continue to do. So I guess my answer to your question is I don't think so, but it really depends on the use cases for technology. Right. That answer is also actually related to Prima's question asked of me about digital slavery. On certain levels, yes, we are held hostage by our digital devices. We can't stop not to look at your mobile phone, right? Whether it be for formal or informal means. Even when you go to restaurants, when you see families, right? I can guarantee you, right, that at least half the family will be looking at their phones at least for half the meal, right? Well, regardless of whatever religion, background, whatever, most of us will be looking at their phone. Right? Kids are looking at their phones half the time, right? So to a certain extent, and that's the way out for the parents, right? I can't control you, so I give you a mobile phone. Go ahead and watch Baby Shark, go ahead and watch disco, and play a game or something, right? So to a certain extent, we are held hostage by that. Now, digital social slavery is something that I think we need to invest more time and effort in research. Maybe this is a topic that so myself and my group, we studied the growth of the hikikomori in Japan, right? And how the pandemic and also advanced technology have not just supported hikikomori, but it's put a lot of recovering hikikomori back into social withdrawal. So if you don't know what hikikomori are, so hikikomori people are people that suffer from acute social withdrawal from society. And technology just gives them another means to escape modern society. So they stay in their homes, they don't need to come out. So we studied them for many years, right? And these are, when I say many years, these are people that are, the definition of hikikomori is that they stay for at least 6 months, they don't have friends, and they don't have work. Okay, so technology just allows them to do that, right? So in order to, I guess, try to encourage them to come out, you need the face-to-face event. So the answer to your question is yes. I think slavery is an aspect of digital transformation that we have to pay attention to. We have to study the relationship between technology and mental health, because that's going to become a very big issue, right? Now there's a lot of different variants of mental health that surface without cure, like hikikomori, as a result of us focusing too much on using phones and things like that. Social media addiction is a very big thing. You may not know, but probably half of you actually are addicted already, whether you like it or not. So it's definitely something that we really need to spend some time on, like studying this darker side. Right? So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, and I think I will give the opportunity to Professor Ezra to answer the question.
I think once I was interviewed by journalists asked me why Indonesian Muslim looked down on by because of some kind of religious racism, widespread religious racism among the Arabs, because Indonesian are considered not Muslim enough, not Islamic. Why? Because Indonesian Muslim are considered not practicing what they call as pure and pristine Islam. Tidak menjalankan Islam yang murni. Probably something like Wahhabism in Mecca and Medina. This is one of the reasons. So the most perfect, the most yang paling sempurna is the most perfect Islam is Islam that is practiced by the Arab, not by any other group of Muslims, including of course Indonesia. This is one. Another story is one of the Indonesian Mufassir, very prominent Mufassir, Quranic interpreter, very prominent. One said to me that his tafsir is not really considered as a good tafsir by people in Egypt or somewhere else in the middle. Why? Simply because he is an Indonesian. Even though he is also of Arab origin actually, but his tafsir is not considered as a real tafsir, simply because he is an Indonesian. Even though, as I said earlier, he is an Indonesian of Arab origin, of Yemeni origin, Akrami origin, if you will. Jadi ini penyebabnya. Walaupun yang menulis tafsir itu orang yang ahli tafsir, tidak semua orang Arab bisa menulis tafsir, tapi dia menulis tafsir. Jadi ini yang saya sebut sebagai religious racism. Rasisme karena menganggap yang paling sempurna Islam itu hanya orang Arab, yang lain itu tidak ini. While the fact is, according to some survey, some research done by scholars like Nikki Keddie, Robert Hefner, or many others, that Indonesian Muslims are the most loyal in practicing Islam, like for instance, doing prayer, performing Hajj and Umrah, paying zakat, bersiswa zakat infak sedekah dan wakaf. That's why I think Muslim play a very prominent role. I think Professor Amelia knows that Indonesia is the most generous country in terms of donation, in terms of very generous. I think in 2019, 2020, and then dropped to number 10 in 2021, I think, and now again rise to the number 1. Paling pemurah, paling generous. Saya kira itu kita bisa saksikan orang turun dari motor pergi sholat, kemudian naruh uang mungkin 1.000, mungkin 5.000 ke kotak amal. This is very customary in Indonesia. I think this is what we have in Indonesia. Tapi ya begitu deh. Jadi menurut survei dari Rias Hasan, Profesor Rias Hasan of I think from Adelaide University, found that Indonesian Muslims are the most loyal, are the highest in terms of practicing salat per Islam. And Professor Tinggi survey in Cairo, in Jakarta, Cairo, and Tehran about the Muslim men who pray Jumat prayer. She found that in Indonesia is very high, more than 90%. I think around 92% of Indonesian men go to the mosque on Friday, while in Egypt only around 60%. They are not really serious in doing prayer. Right? Because it's different from Indonesia. In Indonesia, you can find mosque everywhere, but not in Egypt or in any Arab country. Mosque can be found only in neighborhood. Why? Because Friday and Saturday are holiday in Arab countries, so there is no need for a mosque. Jami for Friday mosque in office, in factories, there is no need. But in Indonesia, there is a need. Why? Because we work this working day on Friday, so we have to pray on Friday in our office. This is why the percentage is very high. Nah, yang terakhir, the last question. I think there is always some kind of tug of war between conservatism, traditionalism, and modernism among Muslims. Jadi selalu ada tarik tambang, contestation between traditional interpretation of Islam. For instance, not long time ago, I think this is very funny and ironic. Vice Governor of West Java province, said that Muslim men should practice polygamy in order to combat HIV. Remember last week there is a news report. The number of those who have been infected by HIV is very high in Bandung or nearby places in Bandung. Bandung is the capital, West Java. And the Vice Governor said that Muslims took more and more wives, not only one. Why? Because this is the only way, according to him, to combat HIV, to contain HIV, the spread of HIV. This is funny, and the governor was very angry. Ridwan Kamil was very angry. He said that the governor should have made some kind of mistake by stating that polygamy should be practiced by Muslim men in order to combat HIV or any other problem. Jadi itu banyak sekali. Jadi misalnya ada tokoh-tokoh politik bilang misalnya kita harus laki-laki harus menambah istrinya kalau perlu sampai 4 rata-rata in order to combat poverty. Because poverty is increasing now in Indonesia because of pandemic COVID-19. The number of Muslim women that becoming poor and poor increasing. So we need to, Muslim male should take 2 or 3 other wives. Jadi ini yang sering terjadi begini. Jadi saya kira ini penafsiran seperti itu selalu ada, but I think majority mainstream of Indonesian Muslim actually do not practice polygamy. Mainstream, but certain group of Muslim, in fact, they teach in Majelis Taklim that if the husband has well-to-do, sudah cukup pendapatannya, maka the wife should find another wife or her husband. Jadi harus mencarikan suami ke istri. Itu ada di Majelis Taklim pengajian seperti itu. Once my wife attended this kind of Majelis Taklim, teaching that the wife should find another wife for her husband. Ini yang begini-begini ini masih ada. Tapi sekali lagi mainstream of Indonesian Muslim do not accept polygamy. In the past ya, probably kakek saya itu masih mempraktekkan poligami, tapi sudah itu sudah nggak ada. Tapi ya masih ada juga sedikit-sedikit. Kira gitu.
Terima kasih Bapak. So, over to you, Ibu Minako and Ibu Amelia. We actually have one more question online, but not sure if we can give the opportunity for the question.
Ya, terima kasih. Ya, memang pertanyaan itu sering muncul setiap kali karena memang ekspektasi untuk suami itu harus kepala keluarga. Jadi akhirnya mereka bertanggung jawab untuk memberikan nafkah dan batin. Memang seperti tafsiran seperti begitu itu kadang-kadang digunakan supaya mungkin istri itu lebih baik dan kerja. Tetapi sekarang mungkin bisa dikaitkan dengan pertumbuhan ekonomi digital. Boleh dikatakan di ekonomi digital itu pendapatannya tidak begitu stabil karena memang setiap pekerjaan orderan itu boleh dikatakan gig ekonomi. Artinya jadi orderan itu tidak masuk, pendapatannya tidak stabil. Artinya jadi kalau kita mau kesejahteraan keluarga itu harus ada fondasi ekonomi untuk keluarga. Artinya jadi dua-duanya mungkin sumber pendapatan itu tidak stabil itu tidak mungkin kan. Jadi boleh dikatakan saya kira walaupun memang tugas untuk memberikan nafkah itu memang ada di tanggung jawab laki-laki, tetapi karena situasi ekonomi di Indonesia itu sekarang semakin digital, semakin jadi fondasi itu sangat tidak begitu stabil. Jadi saya kira di situ pasti ada tekanan ekonomi dan keuangan untuk istri yang punya usaha. Jadi saya kira kan fondasi itu kuat. Lalu reputasi misalnya istri itu mempunyai usaha seperti Ibu Pamela dari Jogja yang punya paket itu sampai 10, 12 ya. Lalu seperti Ibu Nurayati sepakat pemilik warga bisa miliaran, bisa ini kan sedekah, bisa memberikan berzakat itu yang memang memberikan ini kan jadi gengsi buat keluarga. Jadi saya kira tafsiran itu seperti dikatakan oleh Pak Astra memang tidak begitu rigid, jadi bisa digunakan untuk inovasi, bisa digunakan dan contoh itu yang seperti saya katakan dalam bahasa Inggris yang ditulis oleh saya dan Amerika memang kita mencontohkan. Jadi contoh-contoh yang dilaksanakan oleh Khadijah, istri pertama yang kita berdagang dan memberikan ini kan jadi sumber daya untuk suaminya supaya suaminya bisa menghimpun rumah. Seperti itu dia bisa bergengsi. Lalu seperti Aisyah ini kan jadi itu bisa cerdas, hafal, jadi ayat dan hadis ini kan jadi bisa memberikan tensi buat keluarga dan juga posisi keluarga di masyarakat itu bisa naik juga. Jadi saya merasa tafsiran yang seperti ayat yang satu kalimat itu bisa ditafsirkan seperti ini harus 1 plus 1 artinya 2. Saya kira tidak ya. Ya di sini Indonesia itu saya kira mencontohkan kasiran yang sangat inovatif seperti dikatakan oleh Prof. Azra. Jadi saya kira Indonesia itu sudah mencontohkan. Jadi ya mungkin dengan ini kan ini Azra kita menggali apa yang bisa dicontohkan dan bisa menjadi apa namanya kreatif, sangat kreatif dari masyarakat Indonesia itu saya kira ya lebih baik begitu. Terima kasih.
Just a small data from our research. We asked like 185 women entrepreneurs, small women entrepreneurs. Actually, Busri can tell a lot about this. And then we made a kind of survey and asked what is the who support you or who does not support you. Mostly they said that like 98% supported by the husband, and then some supported by husband and then children, husband, parents. So only 0 point something who doesn't get support from husband. So husband approval is very crucial. As Buminako mentioned, there are many ways of wives to get approval. Izin suami. That's the first one. And the second point is what is the support from the family, especially husband. Most of the husband really supported because of their family needs more. That's very practical. The second, they also happy with the wives becoming committed. So there are 3 things that family support women entrepreneurs. First is giving approval, easy, because this is very important. Approval of husband. And the second is by providing technical assistance, like for example, providing driving a car, getting some trails. The third one is providing modal. That's the 3 things. That's the second. That's all. I don't know if you want to. That's all. Yeah. Okay, thank you. We actually have still like 2 people who ask the questions online, but I don't know, can we accommodate that? Yeah. So I think we should say sorry to the online attendees who asked question. We couldn't provide the opportunity. But before we close the discussion, Buminako has something to give to Professor Azra. Silakan Ibu.
Saya ucapkan terima kasih karena sudah lama kita selalu dibantu, selalu direstui. Jadi dan saya juga ucapkan mau selamat atas catatan yang sangat istimewa di Dewan Teras. Lalu memang orang itu jadi artinya penulis itu tetap harus menulis. Jadi saya membawa dedikannya dari kampus. Ya, jadi saya ucapkan terima kasih dan saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada teman-teman dari SDN dan yang sama ini Jabat Data dan yang juga Mbak Mel selalu koordinasi sangat baik dengan Ibu Sri dan Mbak Laura ya terima kasih. Dan ya jadi saya ucapkan terima kasih dan di atas namakan Universitas kita sampaikan ini besok.
Terima kasih Ibu. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I think we should thank to all the speakers. Let's give them a big applause.
Thank you, Professor Amelia Fauzia, Professor Minako Sakai, and also Professor Azra, and also Associate Professor Felix Tan. So see you again tomorrow, inshallah. So I will over this to MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to the moderator and all the wonderful speakers. We will give prizes to 4 people who ask questions. You can directly contact the committee. Thank you for your enthusiasm for joining this event. I'm Sarah Fadria as the Master of Ceremony. It's been a wonderful change for me to lead the food launch and seminar enablers for Muslim women economic empowerment. Let's close this event by reciting Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. From the deepest of my heart, I do apologize for my mistakes in presenting this event. Thank you very much for your kind attention. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Aja.